Steve, hey, Facebook Live all of a sudden works different, so I had to test a little bit. But hey, this is Steve with Finding Men's Peace. And um, yeah, as the title suggests, or actually specifically says, I'm 52 years old and I feel stronger now than I did 20 years ago when I was 32, or and actually any time between that point and probably a year ago, maybe 6 months ago. So what's the deal? How is that possible? So um, the catalyst event in my life that led me to the point where I am today, where I feel stronger at 52 than I did at 32, was starting to work with a life coach. So I worked with my first life coach about 15 years ago. He helped me out a lot with some career changes I had going on. Then I moved away from coaching for a while, and it was 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago, that I started working with a new coach. And it was starting to work with that coach that was the beginning of what basically are big changes in my life that have now led to a point where I feel stronger now than I did 20 years ago. And when I'm talking about stronger, I mean stronger physically, emotionally, and mentally, and spiritually for that matter. So really stronger physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it all started because I knew I needed someone to work with to help me out, to help me get from where I was, which was a place that looked really great on the outside, looking from the outside looking in, but wasn't feeling very good on the inside. Um, and I found a specific coach that I knew would help me with that kind of thing. So that was the catalyst event. A lot of other things. I've done a lot of other things too, but it was starting to work with that coach that led me to where I am today. And I'm still working with him. Um, so uh, again, because of that decision to work with that life coach, I'm feeling stronger mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. I'll give you a physical example first, and this just happened, within the last month. I've been a runner on and off since I was 15 years old, and sometime around my early 40s, I kind of got out of it for a while, but around my early 40s, I got back into it, and I've been into it ever since. I've been into running on a regular basis for most of the last 10, maybe 12 years. And here's what started happening. In around the time I turned 45, I'm just estimating, but it was about then. When I used to run, especially when I used to push the distance further than usual, when I used to start running faster than usual, when I started running more days per week, my legs, I would get sore leg muscles. No big deal. That happens. That actually should happen. Um, well, sometime around the age 45, I stopped. That stopped happening, and instead of getting sore muscles, my legs just started to ache after like the next day after I ran. I mean, ache. They weren't sore. The muscles weren't sore. They just ached a lot. And I'm like, oh, I guess that's all right. I mean, I'm just getting older, whatever. I guess things are changing. Um, as a result of going to a coach, through a long series of meeting people and things like that, I just recently started going to a holistic healer, and she identified several things that were leading to some things that I have going on with allergies and sinus and things. But she also mentioned that I have a buildup of lactic acid in my body. Like for some reason, my body was not processing the lactic acid like it should. It's like, all right, that makes sense. I'm a runner. I didn't really think anything of it other than I knew that the treatment she was going to give me was going to help, and that's cool. Well, here's what's happening now. All of a sudden, now that I'm training for a 10K and my distance runs are longer, I'm starting to get sore muscles again. And that just has not happened no matter what. If I increase my run length, if I increase my speed, I just get achy legs, but not sore muscles. Sore muscles are what you should have. And just because you're getting older doesn't mean that your body changes in that way. So that's just one example. But that happened. I met her because I started working with a life coach, and the way I started looking at life changed as a result of working with those life coaches. Also, physical strength is not all. There's a huge piece of strength is your inner strength. Building that inner strength so you have more resilience. Building that inner strength emotionally, physically, mentally, etc. And that leads me to what I have to offer, and that is I have one of my offers as a life coach at Finding Men's Peace is a group called Finding Inner Strength Fellowship. So men come together once a month via Zoom and learn about a topic that when they apply the tools for that topic to their lives, they increase their inner strength and therefore they're more resilient. Huge right now, huge, because of all that's going on with being in a pandemic, with everything that's happening, with the um, the protests, and trying to understand how each of us fits into that. Um, that can really be stressful. Building inner strength is what helps you with that stress and helps you make the best decisions to move forward. So I encourage you, if you're a man, I encourage you to join my Finding Inner Strength Fellowship group. It's you come together. We come together once a month, and this month it will be June 16th and 17th. I do the same call twice, and I will be teaching on a topic to be announced in the next couple of days that will help you build inner strength. So you listen to me teach, and then there's a question and answer session at the end. It's a 1 hour call. So I look forward to seeing you on that call. I'm going to put the link to my Finding Inner Strength Fellowship offer in the comments. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment or send me a personal message or contact me via the form on my website. All right, thank you. Have a great day and be strong. And I love you.